Hello and good morning, and thank you for joining me here in my shop. It's August 24th. Yesterday I just did a video where I just thought about should I do anything to this radio, and I invited comments. I see comments are showing up on the video. I'm not reading them just yet. I'm going to read them tomorrow. I'm going to give a full day or two for people to make comments on, and then the issue is, should I do anything about this radio at all, because it appears to be completely original and it appears to work. Well, there is one problem for sure, and that's this terrible play in the tuning, which it really undermines what this whole radio is about. The whole radio is about this fantastic tuning capability. So to get at the gears and the parts involved in the tuning gear system, I have to get this cover off. And I think I'm going to get it off today, and that's what I'm going to focus on. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is something I noticed, which I thought was curious. There appears to be a couple of holding screws here on the side, one here and one on the other side. The one back here, of course, is not accessible, so not very handy. Plus, the screw actually goes in through the lower section. This upper section does not seem to have any kind of holding screw outside of these guys, which I'm going to take out. These are not holding down screws. These hold an aluminum cover that goes over top of here. That was an added feature by the Canadian Army. As far as I know, this doesn't appear on any other model. You can see these holes were drilled in to enable the screws to go in, and I'll show you. This is the cover here I'm talking about, in case you've forgotten about it. It goes this way, and you can see that this is bent by an amateur. Really, this is really badly done. This is a really poorly done bent piece of metal compared to everything else in this radio, which is very well engineered. Look, can you see what's going on in here? I'm not even sure what happened in here that they made it like that. I think in the end they bent the sides up and it was too small, and somebody just hammered it out to get it on here. I think that's how crude this really was. So if you notice, the screw here is backed out slightly. I might have a hard time seeing that in the camera, but I noticed it. Well, that's kind of funny. Screw not all the way in. Now, I spent my evening researching any information I could find out about this box, how to get this off, how to get at the gears inside, what is going on. And I did manage to find an interesting photograph, which I'm going to share with you now. So, as I suspected, there's a lot of websites, very nice websites done about this radio. Some of them are a little shallow, a little over the top, or skin deep, so to speak. Look at that, that's a beautiful example, but this is actually a much later model, and I can tell, because you see the second control up here? That one right there, see it has a ring around it? That came in a much later model. Mine again has 3 jacks here. You'll almost never see one of these radios with 3 jacks in a photograph on the internet. So I had lots of different photographs here. I looked through them all. A lovely looking radio. Look at that, how shiny this is. It looks like it's brand new. This picture here, this is the one that well, we can't look at it this way, because the key part we need to look at is where this screw is, and you can see they've gone and put their label there. Let's go back to the earlier picture. Okay, and maybe I can just zoom in on it. Okay, be a little out of focus. Now, perhaps there's another photo, maybe this one. Yeah, this is the one here. Whoops, hang on, I'm going to get that back. This is good enough. We can look at it like this. So here's the same screw that's backed out slightly on the radio I have. And you can see there's a washer. I'm having an awful lot of mouse problems here. It's just driving me nuts. Okay, so you can see that there's a ring around here, like a washer, but look, the top of it is open. It's not a washer. It's actually a clip. If you look at this part close enough, you can see it's a clip. A clip that is held down by this screw and is designed to catch this top. Look at this top. See the split corner on it? Now every earlier picture, or every other picture virtually, of this radio, this top part is a cast part screwed down onto a lower cast part. Can you see there's a seam down here too? This one is a folded metal, folded like a steel sheet, cut and folded. You can see the folds here. What this means is that this is a little springy. This is a bit of a springy arrangement. This is a clamp and a clip. This is a pull-off. I think you can just pull this off. That's what I think. Now, if you're really experienced with these radios, you've probably been yelling this at your screen while I've been working away, but it takes me some time to discover these particular things. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to just pull it off. And you got to wonder, is he going to pull this off? Am I going to pull off the pull-off? It's time for me to get my coffee going here, so I'm going to stop for a few minutes, then we're going to try. Okay, so I'm putting the plate back on because I think the plate is going to be the easiest way to pull this off. So I guess having found the sheet metal, this is another dating factor on these radios. Okay, let's see. Just pull off. Just looking for any movement at all in there. I'll yank on this. Oh, there's just nothing. There is nothing going on there. Well, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. This has to come off somehow, though, and I just don't see any other way that this could come off. I'm just not. When I pull it like this, I'm pulling against the whole thing at once instead of like lifting a little corner or something. So maybe a lot of force would be required. Maybe there's something I can. If it's stuck, maybe I can somehow unstick it. Let's try again. And underneath it are these plates that I don't dare bang into at any point. Let's do it like this. Okay, should be able to put a fair bit of pressure on here. The other thing is, if this suddenly pops off, I don't want to go flying across my shop here. It felt like something moved, or did I bend this? I don't see that anything at all. Looks like I can see screwdriver marks from someone trying to pry it. This screwdriver's not going to go in there at all. Once again, Swedish fish knife comes into play. I don't think it's going to work either. Don't like it. Okay. Well, I kind of hoped it would just pop off just like that, but I don't think it's moved at all. And maybe I'm doing totally the wrong thing here. Maybe this screw is loose and the clip is gone. The other one, maybe the clip is still there. I was stupid and I didn't really look. But I did notice the screw was backed out a little bit. I can see down there. I can see down there. see well enough to know. Maybe I can see through here. Okay. Cannot see. So I would say until this tuning thing is sorted out, the radio's really diminished in its workability. Its value is way down because of this situation. Let's look in there with the other camera here. Now I'm going to set the focus. It should be about something like that. Okay, so the autofocus has done it, but I gotta set this on manual focus, so just bear with me for a moment while I do that. You're probably, if you've watched lots of my videos, you've probably wondered, well, why don't you do this before you start the video? Instead of making everybody wait while you do it. You know what? This was set to fixed. We'll fix it like that. Okay. Why? And the answer is either because I'm lazy or... Oh! How did that happen? What happened there? The autofocus got back on. Oh, it must have... I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Okay, here we go. Who knows what's going on? These days, I don't think many people. What do we see down here? Okay, so the focus is way off again. Let me fix it here. More light, more better light. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a light bulb. That's what I'm looking at. Why am I seeing a light bulb there? Okay, so now I've got the screw head pretty much in the center of the frame. It's hard to tell it's the screw head, but that's what it is. And you can see it's backed out a bit. It's not uptight, if you can believe what I'm telling you. And there's no clip. There's no clip. It wouldn't be much of a clip anyway. See, can I kind of get something in here? And yeah, I should close this. That's a smart idea. Close the capacitor, much less likely to damage it. Can I not? I'm looking for a place I can wedge against. You know, there's this inside this ring here, but it's curved, of course. What about tapping it? Can I tap it off? Yeah, swing a hammer inside the radio here. There's no place to be swinging a hammer. This is the biggest gap right in here. Biggest gap. What have I possibly got that I could jam in there and move? Oh boy. I need to not that tall screwdriver. Is it too tall? Too tall. Too tall. Where is it? Oh, it's in there. Okay. Now, let's try this a little bit. No, it's not in there. No, it's just coming out. Too much of an angle. Too long a screwdriver. Be another screwdriver similar, but with a short shank. Where's it? Here it is. It's on my bench already. Just exactly the wrong dimensions. Okay, what about like this? I just don't see any movement. What am I not thinking of here? It's got the slide off. Clearances are about the same either way. Okay, I can see things moving now. So this whole top part is flexing. Or is it just the light playing tricks? No, it's moving. Question is the gap opening? Am I getting it to move off? It'd be great if I could do that. But I can do it all I like. It's not going to have any effect on anything. You know what? You can get right past. Do I need to take this off? So there's a gap here into the inside, and there's these two holes drilled through. Excuse me. Can we possibly see inside here? Is it possible? Probably not, but let's try. Okay, so I attempted to blast a powerful light into one of these holes and look in the other one with my camera, and no, it didn't work out. What I suspect is in here, because I've seen photographs, is right under this cover is a fairly large split gear, or I don't usually call it a split gear. It's just two gears, identical gears, pushed up against each other, and then there's a spring causing them to be out of alignment like this. This is the anti-backlash system. The problem with using gears is the gears, they don't mate tightly. There's always a gap to allow them to operate, and this gap causes this effect. This effect here. So to compensate, you put a second gear in, spring loaded, so the teeth are out of alignment. Then you jam in this other gear, and against the spring tension it'll push them back, and you'll end up with both sides of this gear pushing on the gear tooth coming this way. That's right. That's right. And that will end the backlash. So my thinking is, I should finish the story, shouldn't I? The anti-backlash gears are stuck in this position. And why are they stuck? Lubrication problems. So how can we, so the objective is just to get this to do this again, just to loosen up. Do I need to take this off to achieve that? Maybe not. I've got holes. I got holes. Now what would I spray into those holes? Well, I could spray quite a few different things. WD-40 would be a choice. That's for sure. But what about ton of power? What about spraying ton of power in there? Now, for extremely dirty tuners, I think this is alcohol. I'm going to try to find out what's in here. It's nothing but alcohol. Yeah, there's something in there. The most powerful polisher, cleaner, and lubricant ever developed for tuner contacts. It's years ahead. Well, it's probably not years ahead anymore. It's probably years behind now. The 5-second tuner restorer. Yeah, but what is it? It's got to say in here somewhere. Tuner power is very potent. Use sparingly. spray all tuner contacts and rotate tuner. So it's much more of a cleaner than it is a solvent. But Chemtronics from Hopage, New York, 11787. In case you need the postal code. Well, it doesn't say what it is. How can this be? How can you have a product that doesn't say what it is in it? It doesn't. I thought the products had to declare, what's in it. I think it's just alcohol myself. Now, do I have something else? What else might I have? I have a big can of Crown Rust Control Inhibitor. No. I have some trichloroethylene. I stick that in there. Hydrogen peroxide. Don't think I want to put that in there. How about some etchant for etching your copper circuit boards that you're making? I got a bunch of copper etchant here. That's a methyl hydrate. None of those sound attractive to me. I have some kettle cleaner for cleaning your steam kettle. I got cold spray. And I got WD-40 under pressure, of course. And what else have I got? Oh, I've got some head cleaner. Well, I've got some non-drift color cleaner. TV tuner cleaner lubricant. Non-drift. This one going to tell me what it is? I think this is just alcohol in here. Directions. Spray directly on all tuner contacts and rotate. Safe for all plastics and components. Easy to apply. Fast drying. Leaves tuner contacts clean with a fine lubricating film. Magnasonic Canada in Montreal. They're not saying what it is. Non-flammable. Non-flammable. Okay, is that the same as inflammable? Flammable, I think it means it will not burn. That means it can't be alcohol. Oh, such magic elixirs here, but the best bet, if I'm going to spray something in there, would be to spray WD-40. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Can I feel in there? Can I feel something in there? Can I feel the gear I'm after? Oh. Well, there's something right there, that's for sure. This gear would move. Oh yeah, it's moving. Oh yeah. So really, literally, just spray right there. Spray in the gear I'm concerned about. And let's try that because I'm not getting this apart. Now, maybe one of you knows better is saying, don't do it, Jim, don't do it. But I cannot hear you. So we're going to hit the gear here. Oh, I was going to show you the photograph, but you'll just have to trust me. Go the other way. Oh, I got this mounted in here. Usually you got to kind of do something to parts that are stuck to unstick them. Like something mechanical to it. Is this going? Oh, don't do it on your hand. Do it on a piece of paper you don't care about. Where would that be? Yeah, I took the garbage out yesterday. Piece of paper I don't care about. Here we are. This is perfect. What am I actually doing in there? Oh yeah, little bits coming out. It'd be nice if it made that lovely spray sound. Is there no gas in my can anymore? That's a question an old guy asks. There's no gas in my can. Got no gas. So aside from doing this, how would you, what's going to cause those parts to break free? Nothing but time. So this would hopefully be smearing the oil I sprayed in there. No. I'll have to give it some time. Yeah, I don't know, boy. I mean, you could get enough oil, like this thing's pancaked together, so the sticky surfaces could be gargantuan in there, and I may have oiled up parts of it, but not all of it, and it may just take a little spot of sticky to hold the whole thing. A small spot of sticky in there, and right to the end here. Special happen at the end? Would that might cause them to work. You know, look at this. See it come out. So there's a spring loading in there. There's a hard stop up here. What happens at the other end? I don't like that. Look at the control is moving around. Probably shouldn't be doing that. But the capacitor is not moving. Now, what are the numbers changing? 460. The numbers are not changing. That's hard to tell with this. The way they've done this is so tricky. Let's go to the other end again. I'm thinking about aligning this. This has got to be difficult to align because in most radios you align, you set the dial to a certain frequency. But how do you do that with this graph and these numbers with any kind of precision? It feels heavier too, harder to turn up in here. And there's still the play. So there's a spring in here. There's a ball bearing ball bearing in here too. And I'm pretty sure this moving out thing is working against the spring. Spray more stuff. Spray stuff in the other hole. So the part I wouldn't be able to get would be the part that's up in here right now. I'm going to go past this hole, so I'm going to, want to put more. A little bit might work. A lot would work better, wouldn't it? That's not the rule. So I give this like a 10% chance of success. I'm not thinking it's going to work. Seems better. There's still this. I think it's less. How could it be less? If those things, if those split gears come apart, if they start sliding properly, then the play should completely disappear. See, I'm still gonna have to. Still got that much jump in it. That's a lot. And I'm only assuming I've understood the problem here. I don't know for sure. And this could go on for a long, long time. So I'm going to let it sit now for a while. And we'll let the oil do its penetrating thing. And I will keep my fingers crossed and we'll see what happens. I'll come back in half an hour or something like that. Let's take a look at this fantastic website by, I think his name might be Dave Richards. He's got a lot of interesting stuff on his website, and kind of obscure stuff. So here we are, gear drive. He's got some wonderful photographs here to look at. So here's one. Of course, they're out of the radio. Mine is still in the radio. And you see this is all cast metal and has these corner screws, which I don't have. Mine is not cast metal. It doesn't look like this at all. Well, somewhat similar. So lots of shots of it. Now we're looking inside it. So the one I have might look like this inside there. Look at how gummed up it is in here. Wow. And so I'm just spraying some stuff. Maybe I'm hitting this gear, maybe I'm hitting that gear, but this isn't what I had in my imagination. I have another image in mind. Let's see if it's here. Oh, here's taking it all apart. This is the part with the spring that, showing very carefully how to take it apart. And put it back together, I guess. Here he is. He's looped it up. Where there isn't the picture of the one I'm thinking of. Is this what's down inside the one I have? So there's no what do you call a gear in here? A split gear. There's no anti-backlash gear that I can spot. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? What's this little piece right here? In the following view, the anti-backlash spring on the left side gear, left-hand gear is visible. You can see one end of the spring poking through a hole in the gear. Here it is, right here. So this is the anti-backlash system here. Yeah, see, these gears are all hooked together. Like they're not like one driving the next, driving the next. If you do that, then you go right around in a circle and come back. So somehow they're achieving the same effect of two gears being spring-loaded against each other and then pressing on the drive gear. Something like that, if I've got it right. Well, this isn't the picture I'm thinking of. Okay, I gotta find the picture that I was thinking of. It's a dramatically different look inside. And maybe if I poke inside mine through those holes, I can kind of get a feel for whether it's like this. If it's like this, then wow, I gotta get some oil way down. Why wouldn't I just soak this thing? Just spray it every which way in there. What would it matter? Would it matter? See, he's taken his totally apart and cleaned it all up and put it all back together. Yeah, well, maybe that's where I'm headed with this, but I'm not running to do that. Okay, I have to find this other image. It took me quite a while to find the. I didn't actually find the picture that I was looking at previously, but this will do. This is very, very similar. This is obviously a cutaway here showing you what's going on. See, these are the two gears that are the same gear, two of them pushed together, and then you can see the springs right in here. And the springs are designed to pull these gears into the position you see it in up here, kind of the teeth out of alignment, and that causes the teeth to pinch down here, and that ends the backlash or play that would inevitably be in here. There's the ball bearings, and there's the spring. I see when we get to the end of the run, I can kind of picture what's happening. This wheel stops turning, and if you keep turning this, it'll begin to creep out this way, compressing the string and causing the knob to come out or push away from the front panel. So now that would probably be true in the other version. Now I don't know what this one, as you can see, is the cast iron one with the cast steel. What, cast iron? Cast steel? Can you cast steel? I don't think so. It has the 4 screws, different than mine. Mine has just the square top here. So inside, is it this? Or is it that other thing? Well, what's that other thing we were looking at? We were looking at this. Is it this? Can I... Oh, well, these... Look, it's got the 4 corner screws here. So even this one is coming out of a cast. So is this the later version or the earlier version? And is it my version? Goodness knows at this point. I'm going to poke around through the holes and see if I can feel the if I can feel these gears. Like if it's got one big center one, I should be able to push the rod down here and feel nothing. Whereas if it's this style, I push, you know, the feeler down this way and I feel this. Okay, I think I can. I don't know. I'll give it a try. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think so, because it has a bearing on where I spray the stuff in there. Feeler. We'll try the stick again. It's a little bit wide. Yeah, it's maybe a little too wide. I think it's too wide. Too wide. Something narrower. Something narrower, like a piece of wire. Like a piece of wire. Hey, have I got a piece of wire in here? I'm sure I do. Hey, I got the perfect thing. Sewing machine needle. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I can feel a gear or something. Old dried up glue. Yeah, glue. So I feel a gear right there. So I think it's like the picture, the last one we were looking at. Well, it shows you how important it would be to get this open. It's full of goo. Well, I don't know if I can really tell for sure. I don't think I can tell for sure. Okay, on the assumption that it could be one or the other, I'm going way down here. Try to go way down there. Got this tip the wrong way. Hey, you know, there's all kinds of holes down here inside this thing. I could be spraying stuff in. Is that what those holes are for? Oh. Oh my gosh, that's blocking my hose hole here. Yeah. Is this, is it possible to lubricate a solution here? I just keep spraying in stuff and somehow this will fix itself. I don't even know what's doing this exactly. I'm guessing it's the trying to see if it's getting better. I don't think it's getting any different. Yeah. Releasing the back pressure. What if I were to just lubricate all these parts in here? in order to loosen it up. So I don't think that's going to solve the backlash problem. Might make it less noticeable, but it'll still be there. I got to get this off. Surely to goodness this comes off to allow maintenance. I've got to find the secret. What is the secret? Okay, so I just asked myself, well, what if I'm wrong about this screw? What if this is actually tightened down and is holding this on? I can only get at one of them, but I can try loosening that off. Let me use this tool here. This is a very old tool you'd find in a machine shop, and see the face remains perfectly parallel the whole time. So this is good for this purpose here. Kinda. Okay, so nothing tight about that screw. They don't need these big clunkers to turn it. Big clunkers away. That's the official name, by the way. Big clunkers. Okay, let me get something a little less clunky. And we'll go to the other extreme and use needle nose. Are you turning that? Yeah, turn it by hand. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Here it's coming out now. Here we are. It's just a nut and a washer. Intended to hold the clip. That's all. Oh my gosh, it's loose. Oh my gosh, it's coming right off. It's coming right off. I just have to kind of defeat the other one. Is there something going down? Yes, there is. There's a tab that goes down and the screw goes in it. Okay, all things are answered. How do you get to this screw here? How do you get to this one? It has to come right out. It has to come right out. How can you possibly do it? How did somebody get it in? Is there a porthole? Sometimes there's a porthole in the front here. No. You don't put a tool through from the front. No. It's wiggly, so it's loose. But but the screw is going through. Screw is going through. Okay, I just need some way to do the impossible here. How can I do that impossible thing there? Oh boy. I don't know. Can I get it out with something like this? Yes, I can. Put the capacitor away again. If you were unscrewing this, you'd be going this way. It's turning. It's turning. Now it's just a matter of time and effort. So whoever did this last time didn't tighten these screws up. And I wonder if it's because it'll be for the same reason when I put it back together. I won't tighten these screws up. Can I? There's no way of doing it with a finger. Not that loose. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to continue doing it till the screw comes out. Okay, here's what I got it loose with the tool, and now I'm doing the 2-finger approach. Oh, it's come right out. It's out. Okay, you ready for this? Here it comes. Oh, it's the great big gear. Holy smokes. Okay, I was not expecting that. And it is a mess of junk on there. Now, let's find out if my theory's correct. Can I move these 2 gears relative to each other? No, I feel like they're just locked. Oh yeah, it will move. Which way? This way. They move a little wee bit. They shouldn't be able to move at all, should they? Because they should be pinched down tight on this. You can see one moving relative to the other. Don't think it's supposed to do that. Well, I did manage to lubricate it, but what a mess this is. Is this really the problem? Let me try instead of my fingernails. Let's try just. Well, they certainly aren't. They fused right together. That's for sure. So the lubrication, old lubrication in the long run, dries up. This has got WD-40 on it now. It starts gluing parts together. This doesn't seem to be glued. Did I succeed already? I think it's actually getting better. Need a whack of grease, anybody? Ancient grease. I watch a lot of videos about ancient grease. Not this kind of grease. Well, I guess we can, sweep some of this off. Get rid of it. And then we'll throw some solvent on here. Oh yeah. Get as much of that. So, okay, know what I'm doing? I'm going to do it. Oh man, success. While I'm cleaning away here, I've noticed a real backlash. Now, watch my hand here. I'm going to spin the dial a bit. When I let go, watch what the dial does. See it go back? That is classic backlash. As opposed to this play that I might have been calling backlash. Now if you watch the gears, you can actually see that it's the gear pushing it back. This lower gear, when I let go, travels back a fraction. And what's that tell you? It's not working well. I'm not sure it tells you much more than that. So I'm just trying to get off as much of this goop as I can. I better not brush my teeth with this anymore. So the old grease is not completely turned to glue like I come across in some old radios, and especially record players. In some cases the glue is really, glue. It's glue. And I find alcohol, which I like to use, because it's inherent safety, and we'll soften that stuff up, help you wash it away. And WD-40 seems to be the king of solvents, though, when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now, what about deeper down inside? Well, there isn't anything really deeper down inside. It looks like there's just the gear, the worm gear coming across underneath. And then it's engaging with this, and that's the entire mechanism. That other thing we looked at, I don't know, a little more complicated. I think this is a later version here. And they figured out a better way to do it, to do the see where we are now. So, look at this. This appears to be moving, but this does not. That's another kind of problem. I don't like that problem. That's pretty hard to know. Is this really moving or not? I don't think it is. I think there's this much play. So where would it be? Right in the shaft? Where would the play be now? How is this attached to the drive shaft? Maybe we can see some screws or something. Down in there. Yeah, here comes a screw. Well, you don't come all the way around. Okay, you want to be like that? I have ways. That's not terribly well exposed, but there it is. Now, would that be? So one wheel is fixed firmly to the shaft. That's this wheel with the screw. The other one can't be fixed to the shaft because it's got to move a little bit. Can't really move it. So now I'm looking for the play between these two items here. I'd say it's 0. I'd say it's 0. Where else can the play be other than the lockdown screw here? Well, I'm going to try to turn it tighter. Be surprised if I can turn it. I was able to turn it, which is with this little tiny screwdriver. Let's see what that's done now. I think that did it. There's still some play while this drives this outer wheel, the spring-loaded wheel. And so that indicates there's still some play in the gearing. Maybe this isn't traveling far enough. You can hear it. Couldn't hear it before. Now let me watch this wheel in here. A little hard to do. 0 play. So now the play is definitely the worm gear against here. Now it's time to lubricate. Time to lubricate. First I'm going to give it the rubbing alcohol treatment, which I have to go fetch. Okay. And now I've got this on a funny angle here. I should really have the radio down, so anything I spill kind of goes down further in there instead of, yeah, so let me just put this all back here. I don't want to, I'm losing parts because I'm being reckless. Where'd those 2 top screws go? Oh, they're in the thing. Good. Okay, good. Good. Now, tip the radio down. For some reason I have a cannabis branch in here. What would that be doing here? Okay. Now, over you go. Pick her up, put her down. Boy, and this doesn't even have a power transformer in it, and it is heavy. Okay, I think now we're in a better position here to let loose with the stuff. I need a delivery. Okay, gotta go fetch a delivery tool here. Okay, this is for giving medicine to a cat. Or I guess you could give it some rubbing alcohol this way too, but the cat wouldn't like it. Okay, this is full. Full, and before I make a bad mistake, put the lid on. Yes, everything. Okay, now just generously apply the alcohol. So the objective of this is to loosen up the existing oil and grease. What's that scraping sound? That's dial scraping here. Where'd that come from? On the springs themselves. Where's the other spring? Is there just one spring here? How come the scraping has started? Did I do? I didn't do anything, did I? Does this move a little bit? The whole thing moved in and out a little bit. Still see this one moving. Think about what is actually happening down below where the worm gear is turning. Possible the thing is worn out and the worm gear is worn out and it's thinner than would be expected. It's much better. I think it's all getting much better. I'll do this a little bit here. Lubricate the rest of the mechanism now to kind of get it loosened up here. There are instructions on how to lubricate. I mean, there's some obvious spots right in here. The rest of this I'm not so sure. You would lubricate it just in there. Just a little bit in there. Wait a minute. Didn't wait a minute, you know, you just waited a second there. Probably the feeling, the back pressure I'm getting when I turn this is probably coming from the mechanism in here. How could I tell if it's coming from here? To kind of get this to release the worm gear a bit and then use the play to judge the friction. So there's a bearing here and a bearing here and two thrust adjustments to move it back and forth. But that bearing can hardly be putting back pressure because it's, you know, especially the gearing ratio here. I got a lot of power when I turn this thing. Really haven't greased this up and lubricated it yet. We're still just messing around with dissolving stuff. Nice and clean in here, relatively speaking. There's only one screw locking this down. I bet you there's two. There's one here that's come up, the one that I cranked on, and then how would we? I think it's a different screw coming up here. Okay, that being the case, where did that screwdriver go? I used this one. Oh yeah, she was loose. Not completely loose. Now, did that do anything? So we still have the, I call it the worm gear play. It's about 2 numbers on the dial. These other things would be the... Let's look at the details of the construction of this. Now I think I'm ready to grasp it. Yes, grasping. Oh, I will grasp my coffee cup here. Well, let's have a look at this. So this is the unit I've got, except this is the cast iron box version of it. We can assume, because this looks exactly the same, except they got 2 springs here. Doesn't look exactly the same, but very, very similar. We can guess this is all the same here. So here's where the worm gear is engaging with the drive gear, and this is all pretty interesting right in here. The ball bearings here, and then a spring, which we could feel at the end of the run. You could feel this, you could observe this. You could observe this whole piece moving out as you continue to turn the worm gear, but these won't turn. And you can push this out until you've compressed the spring here. The ball bearings, if you read through here, let's see, let's just read the whole thing. Every HRO I have worked on needed servicing of the PW drive gearbox. Usually when the top cover is removed, it will be apparent that old grease is very dirty and not coating where the gears mesh. Also, you might find that the split ring anti-backlash gears are stuck. That's what I had thought. These 2 gears were stuck together, but they really aren't. Down where the worm gear is located can't be seen from the top. To fully service the PW gear drive requires disassembly. To check the worm gear assembly, the elliptic bearing hub has to be removed. Be careful when removing the last screw that holds the elliptic bearing hub. Is this what they're talking about? Elliptic. I'm not sure what that word, how they're using that word. As you remove the worm gear, note how many teeth backlash is set on the... Should be more than 2 teeth. What's this? Note how many teeth backlash is set on the split gear. Shouldn't be more than 2 teeth. Not exactly sure what they're saying there. Clean off all the old grease. Use a stiff toothbrush, WD-40, some kind of oil. Lightweight grease, like a lubricating. A small amount of light oil should be worked into the split ring gears so they can move easily. Be careful of the 3 springs that load the split gear. 3. I think there's only 1 on mine. Is that really the case? I'm just looking quickly. I'm looking at 1. I'm turning it. Hey, there's another one. How do you like that? Okay, so there are multiple springs spread around on it. Be careful. Sometimes they come off their mounting pegs, but they are easy to reinstall. Now, note how the worm gear shaft is assembled. It's not uncommon to find the gear shafts assembled incorrectly. Look at the national artwork to the right. This shows the correct assembly of the worm gear shaft, washer, spring, and ball bearing. Note from the worm gear flange, there is a ball bearing, then a washer, then a spring, then another washer. The assembly is held in place by the elliptic bearing hub. Ball bearing appears to have no support. Provide no support. But the design is for the ball bearing to apply thrust force against the shaft flange without an excessive amount of friction. So I think the thing is that they need this worm gear to stay in place. If it shifts left or right, then you're tuning the radio left and right. Like literally, if I grab the knob on the front of this radio and yank on it, I should be able to pull it out a bit. Yes, I can. I'm pulling against that big, I'm compressing this spring when I do that. So the spring is pushing, it's pushing against here, it's pushing this with the ball bearings against this thrust plate right here. What for? Because when you turn the knob, you turn, everything's turning. What is the thrust force against the shaft flange without excessive amount of friction? I don't know what this is doing exactly, but it's something. It's a problem of holding this in its exact position. The heavy spring pushing it, no play is left. It's going to be pushed up tight against the bearing here. Oh, there's more written here. I'm going to read this. I won't read it out. So what I'm going to, I'm not going to take this out of the radio. I'm not doing that. So the best I can do is work from the top here. You can see it's straight open right down to here. So anything I drop in here is going to show up here, like alcohol. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a pile of alcohol down here. Hope it gets mixed in with all this. And will it leak out the bottom? I don't think so. I think this is probably contained on purpose to hold the lubricant and whatnot and keep it from leaking into the radio. So I think I can really practically fill this thing up with alcohol. Not that that's my intention, but I can put a lot down in here, try to get it to penetrate in this area here. Is it going to help? Gee, I don't know. I don't know, but limited options here. So shoot this down there. And I need to put a lot more alcohol in there. Pick the radio up and shake it around. try to splash the alcohol around. I don't think that's going to happen. Can I see down there? That's all. Oh, I can. Okay, you're going to feel a slight pinch. You ever had braces? I had braces when I was a kid. To have braces, I had too many teeth and not enough space in my jaw, so I had to remove some teeth. I think that's very, very common. So they removed 3 bicuspids. I had to go to my dentist. My dentist, who was brand new, he just basically out of college. Here I come in, I think I was 14, I was quite old. And his job is to pull 3 bicuspids out of my head. Whew. That was not a pleasant experience for him or me. It feels much tighter up here, like it's the resistance is much stronger. Why would that be? I don't know. Let's give it some more alcohol. The great thing about the alcohol is it's going to evaporate away. Certainly not like tuning Hammerland SP600 I have. Has a similar size dial on it, like a similar size knob. It's as smooth as silk. This one, look, see, there's a lot of back pressure, back pressure you have to put on it. Again, it could be because of the mechanism in here. definitely feels clunkier up here. Not clunkier there. I'm at the end there. I think that's a good thing to do. Work it back and forth like that. I don't know. Can it get any better than this? Let's see. Where are we at now? Reality check. A reality check. You can just see the top of it here. I got that much play now. It's really loose in here. It's like there's just nothing. Okay, now. Even as I do this, the sprung wheel is moving. So maybe we just can't overcome it. That's as good as it gets. You would think, wow, no, they wouldn't even want that. They want 0. I mean, that's the whole idea of this backlash thing. Is 0 this. Zero in one direction. Like if I just turn this and let go, that's perfect. But it's the other way. Oh, it's not much at all. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Well, what I'll do is I'll leave this open. I won't put the top on. I'll leave it open. I can just keep oning, and while we do other stuff. And I suppose I could. Maybe I should turn this guy back on. I don't think I want to do that right now. Not right now. I think that's probably as far as I'm going to get with fixing this issue. But I think it's improved. I will claim I've improved it. It's basically 2 divisions. Not even. Just like that. 1 division. So, okay, good, okay. Well, okay. I say, time to go back outside. It's every day now is getting a little warmer than the day before, so I think it's going up to 27 today. I got lots of outdoor work to do, so thanks a lot for watching. I'm just going to plug along. I'm trying to be as careful as possible with this radio, because the last thing I want to do is be the guy who kills it. I don't want that to happen. So thanks for watching, and have a good day. See ya.